they have any voter grants. Okay.
Okay, we're back live on YouTube, and Imogene's just going to check if there's anyone from the public that would like to return to the public portion of our. Okay, so I see nobody. As I indicated, sometimes it's just to be able to get some still shots of us. All right, we are back on back on the record with financial report. Go ahead.
Here. Well, the OAG Financial Division is unable to prepare the usual financial statement for the revenues. This is due to the incomplete transfers to the Department of Administration's new financial system. As mentioned at the May 3rd, 2024 hearing, the reason for not getting the most updated funding amount is the OAG has not been able to confirm the funding level amount on its part. So they do not want to state the fund amount and not be accurate. According to our financial division, the sum of $852,107.11 is reflected in the CICC fund.
In line with the financial report, have we been able to have checks issued from the awards that we have made in the last, say, year?
Yes, and so we recently just received back the pending check from last September, which was our longest. I'm confirming with the applicant just to make sure it goes through the certified mail route.
Okay. Is that an amount that goes to the applicant, or it's also to government?
It's to the applicant.
Okay.
And that's local, so that we just got back that. And then we are pretty much up to date on our payments. Well, they're all pending. The last hearing, the May 3rd hearing, payments are still pending with DOA. So once they come back to us, we'll get those out and then, of course, go through this next step.
Is it simpler to get payments and awards, payments on awards to entities like hospitals than it is to individual applicants? Does DOA make it a little bit more difficult if a check is being written to an individual person who's not an entity?
I want to say they're about the same, Your Honor, but I can verify with our financial division. I know the longest payment that was pending was a big one.
September 1. How much was that? 10,000.
And it was straight to the applicant.
But you have the check in hand, now you're just waiting to be distributed.
Confirmed, yes.
Or are you in contact with both administrations at the hospital, GRMC and Law Memorial Hospital, to ensure that they understand where these checks are going? And
Yes, so we're
are they double checked? You know, it's Law Memorial Hospital and the victim, the double signature.
I think it's the AG's office and the entity or victim. So our office endorses.
So when they see a check that has Law Memorial Hospital or GRMC and Office of the Attorney General, they know to go check and find who this is.
The check also references the CICC number. And so with that, when I get it, we'll also reference the billing number and the amount. So if it's
Just want to make sure that
yes.
We haven't had any problems with them. Hopefully there are no problems when someone might get garnished, have their tax return garnished, and in fact pay that off. I know it can be remedied, but when someone is expecting a tax return and they have to wait a couple of more months because the hospital did not credit their account, very frustrating. But we'll deal with that. Any questions on financial? I believe we got an award of $53,000 for the compensation fund.
Yeah, so, sorry, I didn't update. It wasn't awarded yet, but we did get the award notification this week.
2024?
Yes, ma'am. The amount was 53,000.
Different from last year, which was only 13,000. Again, the 53,000 is based on the awards that we made out, so. Finally got through our, blackout period, we're trying to get the statute done. And so we now have in the fund for 2024 award 53,000. We have been pretty consistent, and I appreciate the staff's recommendation that when we make awards, that we use the federal compensation fund primarily for the medical, and so we can exhaust those funds promptly. The awards that we have approved today will be paid from the 2021 grant and the 2022. Oh, no, sorry, 2020 and 2021. Will there be any balances that go back to the feds from either of those grants?
After these awards, no. We will exhaust those balances for 2020 and 2021, and we will move forward and start using 2020.
And that's what the feds like to see us do. Okay, so cleaned out 2021. And the 2022 grant, it runs for 3 years up to 2025. So if we make awards, if we could possibly have a year that would be wonderful in early December, if we can make an award that would come from the 2022 grant, and we can then exhaust that further into spring of 2025.
Do you know what the percentage is that we're given based on the awards?
65 cents on the dollar. That was my last. Or is it 75 cents on the dollar? 75. It used to be 65 cents, now it's 75 cents on the dollar. So if we can get one more hearing, that would then give us a greater fund for the FY 2025 grant funding. So the 53,000 is 2024 grant funding. I think we've done a really fine job this year, more hearings than we've had in the last year or two. That will increase our 2025 potential compensation funding. So let's all cross our fingers. Imogene will let us know what's a good date. I think we said December 6th is fine. And we'll try to shoot for that. Okay. I don't have, we have old business. Anything else on the financials, Imogene? There are no questions from the commissioners. Old business, status of our amended rules and regulations. I've been working with Imogene on the regulations and the staff of the Attorney General's office, as well as Governor's office legal. Our rules and regulations were sent back, as you recall, from the speaker because the governor had not yet approved it, and there's a timeline that's critical. So the speaker sent it back. We are now waiting for the governor's approval, and the governor is waiting for, the governor's staff is waiting for an official transcript. I've been working with Imogene. She was able to get George's last name?
Castro.
George Castro. He's a certified court reporter. He produced the transcript, and Imogene and I have gone over the draft of the transcript. It was excruciating. I was hoping that maybe the governor's office would just accept the Google transcript, but the lawyer said, Your Honor, it's awful. I know it's awful. So Imogene, where are we with George? We have completed our review of the transcript.
Yes, Your Honor. We've completed our review, and it was forwarded to George, who will, review it again and go through what we marked up, and then he's supposed to send it back to us. So.
And once George sends the Attorney General the approved transcript, I'm going to ask the Attorney General to get that up to the Governor's office. Governor can then, they're just waiting for the transcript to approve it, send it back to the Attorney General's office, and then the AG can send our complete rules and regulations back down to the legislature. It's going to require a public hearing, so we can all kind of keep ourselves available on public hearings. I think we're all gonna watch, so I'll just send Barry Anderson down. She wrote the rules, and she knows what they are, she knows the statute. I am more than glad I had asked for it.
So moved.
If we can, get something from the legislature around early 2025, then, I expect the bill to be approved by spring and then into the bar, along with the rules and regulations. And we will be done with the statute and we will be done with our rules and regulations. And all we have to work on is, our awards. Nothing else, there are no questions on the rules and regulations. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Not debatable. We are now adjourned at, 3:56. I'm sorry, 2:56. Hi, Mike, we did.
Yeah, thank you, got it.
You. Oh, thank you too.